So when I was a kid, I remember my dad took my stepbrother and I to the record store, and we could each buy a 45. And my first 45 was Quiet Riot's Come On Feel the Noise. And I couldn't have been more than 6 or 7 years old. I might not have even been that. So that kind of set the tone. My mom was a rock and roller, so I was kind of introduced to things like the Moody Blues and things like that. But I remember Columbia House, and I got Led Zeppelin, I believe it was 3. And back then, if you opened the package, you had to then you had to pay for it.
Right.
Otherwise, you could just return to sender and you didn't have to pay for it. And I was always so curious. And I remember opening Zeppelin 3 and putting it in my Walkman right before bed. And I was just blown away by this loud, high-pitched rock and roll sound, which would, like everybody, I think, they know you like certain groups, but they don't know why or where it really started.
Right.
And for me, it was Zeppelin 3.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, which one? What's that one open with?
Immigrant Song.
Yeah, Immigrant Song. I was thinking there's sometimes those records that like they kind of have that build up in the beginning, but that's one of those ones like hits you right off the bat, like boom.
And it's funny because the rest of the record isn't really like that.
Yeah.
But that was one of the things that really set the tone for my writing too, was Led Zeppelin, and why I was really drawn to bands like Faith No More, were they were always experimenting. They didn't really have a sound, and that was kind of their sound. Like Zeppelin, yeah, it all sounds like rock and roll, but they did a lot of experimenting.
Right.
A lot. So
that's one of the things that like I loved about that band. Like, you know, a lot of people know them for like that classic rock type guitar sound, but like the ones that hit me are songs like No Quarter, where it's just like this moody organ, and it comes in, it's just like this, it's like intense without being heavy type of feel, a lot of like tension in that song.
Yeah.
But like I've always appreciated bands that do that. Like, you know, U2's another band I've always appreciated. You know, they weren't as renowned for their experimentation, but I always appreciated it.
Just like rhythms like Trampled Underfoot, Dire Makers, stuff like that. It's just like, it's not your traditional like Black Dog or even rock and roll, the song. So